This is the luxury world. Get inspired with us today and tomorrow. In the 2025 UK secondary market, the landscape for Rolex steel sports models reveals notable disparities in value retention and collector demand. When discussing the most valuable Rolex steel sports watch, the conversation inevitably centers on the secondary market, where true value is determined by the forces of scarcity and demand. While Rolex's official 2025 retail price list shows only minimal increases for steel models, the resale market tells a different story. In the highly competitive world of luxury watches, a few iconic models consistently stand out, not just for their horological excellence, but for their staggering market premiums, and that is what we will be examining in this video brought to you by the Luxury World. By examining dealer-listed prices for full-set watches dated 2025, several key pricing trends emerge. Some models continue to command significant premiums, while others are readily available below retail, highlighting shifting preferences among enthusiasts and investors. Please subscribe to Luxury World for exclusive access to upcoming insights, curated content, and expert guidance to help elevate every step of your watch investment journey. The Rolex Deep Sea with a black dial, despite being one of the most rugged offerings in the lineup, sees relatively subdued demand. Examples from 2025 are scarce in the pre-owned market, and those available typically trade for approximately 10% under the retail price of £12,500. Much of the attention in this category is drawn toward the James Cameron edition, known for its gradient blue to black dial, which continues to attract divers and collectors alike. Similarly, the Sea Dweller 43mm, featuring red anniversary text reminiscent of earlier vintage references, commands less interest than its Submariner sibling. Although it carries an RRP of £11,750, pre-owned listings indicate a modest reduction of about 4%. Its larger dimensions and specialized appeal limit its mainstream traction, and its relatively lower production volume further contributes to its distinct market position. The Explorer II with a black dial, priced at £8,550, is typically found at a slight discount in the secondary market. The white dial version, however, enjoys stronger demand. Rolex's limited use of white dials across the professional range may account for this disparity, with collectors often seeking to diversify visually within their collections. The low number of 2025 dated Explorer I is available for resale suggests that these references are not being flipped in large quantities, making them more accessible through authorized channels. The James Cameron Deep Sea maintains stable pricing close to retail. While its bold case dimensions may not cater to all wrists, its iconic dial design has allowed it to retain a dedicated following, even if price growth remains limited. Moving to more compact tool watches, the Explorer 40mm, retailing at £6,750, typically trades at a slight premium of about 4%. It delivers the functionality and durability expected of the Explorer line in a larger, more contemporary case, serving as a middle ground for those who admire the traditional 36mm model but seek greater wrist presence. Speaking of which, the Explorer 36mm, with a retail price of £6,400, is less frequently listed but usually carries a premium of around 10%. The market response to this reference indicates interest from collectors in prioritizing heritage and simplicity over short-term profitability. The watch's understated profile and historical relevance make it an appealing choice for enthusiasts. In the realm of aviation-inspired models, the Air King continues to divide opinion. With its unconventional dial layout, it remains one of the more polarizing pieces in the lineup, yet it sustains a market premium of roughly 6%, reflecting a niche demand for Rolex models that deviate from the conventional design language. Several Yacht-master references also occupy interesting territory in the 2025 market. The 40mm slate dial version, priced at £10,600, typically sells for around £12,000, while the blue dial variant, arguably less popular in past years, now commands an even higher price point, around £12,500. The latter's relative scarcity in listings may explain the premium, despite assumptions about collector preferences. Both models feature platinum bezel inserts and curved case profiles, offering a more luxurious aesthetic than the Submariner. The 37mm Yacht-master slate dial, often categorized as a ladies' model, is rarely seen in the market. When available, examples generally trade for around 20% above retail, driven more by scarcity than by overwhelming demand. The lower production volume contributes to its elevated pricing, even though consumer interest appears more muted. Despite being one of the most recognized names in horology, the Submariner date continues to reflect a balanced market dynamic. Priced at around £11,000 on the secondary market, the watch carries a 21% premium over retail. Its popularity is well documented, but high production volumes keep pricing within range. The no-date Submariner, sharing the same case and layout but lacking a date complication, sells for approximately £10,000, making it a preferred option for traditionalists seeking design purity. More notable market premiums are seen among the GMT-Master II collection, with several references commanding between 30% and 50% over retail. The Starbucks Submariner, a model with green bezel and black dial, remains a favorite among those seeking a modern take on the Submariner with a splash of color. It trades at about £12,000, a 26% premium, though it still tries the demand once enjoyed by its fully green predecessor, the Hulk. Introduced in 2022, the GMT-Master II Sprite features a black and green bezel and a left-hand crown, an unusual layout for Rolex. It remains in production as of 2025 and is listed at around £13,000 in the pre-owned market, with prices having softened slightly from earlier in the year. Its RRP stands at £9,900. The Batman GMT Black and Blue Bezel Oyster bracelet shows consistent demand, trading at around £13,000. Despite a slightly lower RRP of £9,450, its 38% premium reflects steady interest. The Jubilee variant, nicknamed the Batgirl, typically fetches £1,000 more, continuing a trend where Jubilee bracelet models command a visible pricing advantage. This preference for the Jubilee configuration repeats across other GMT variants, including the Sprite, where the Jubilee version also trades higher than its Oyster counterpart. The Bruce Wayne GMT, introduced in 2024 with a black and gray bezel, is the latest addition to the GMT lineup. It retails for £9,450 and sells on the secondary market for just over £14,000 in Oyster configuration, while the Jubilee version is closer to £15,000, representing premiums of approximately 51% and 61%, respectively. As the newest colorway, this model attracts interest from collectors seeking the most current offering. Rolex's chronograph category also reflects heightened premiums. The Daytona with a black dial, while rarely found new at retail, sells at a 69% premium in the pre-owned market. With demand far outstripping supply, acquiring this reference through a Rolex AD without a long-standing relationship remains exceedingly difficult, leading many to turn directly to the open market. Further up the scale, some of the most coveted steel models reach even higher premiums. The GMT-Master II Pepsi, with its red and blue bezel, is among the most unattainable watches in the Rolex catalog. On the Oyster bracelet, this reference trades at approximately £17,000, an 80% markup over retail. The Jubilee bracelet further increases the market price by about £1,000. Availability through official channels is extremely limited, and long-standing waitlists have only added to their desirability. Topping the market in terms of secondary value is the Daytona Panda, Rolex's white dial chronograph with black subdials. Considered the flagship steel Daytona, this model commands a staggering 91% premium over retail, with current pricing hovering around £26,000. Access to this reference is typically reserved for Rolex's highest-tier clients, and the brand's restrictive distribution ensures its continued rarity. In summary, the 2025 Rolex steel sports model lineup reveals a market heavily influenced by demand, production constraints, and shifting collector tastes. While certain references, such as the Panda Daytona and Pepsi GMT, remain deeply entrenched in scarcity and exclusivity, others, such as the Deep Sea Black Dial and Sea Dweller, offer opportunities for near-retail acquisitions. Bracelet configuration, dial color, and model heritage all play significant roles in shaping premiums and resale performance. For those navigating the Rolex market this year, value lies not only in the brand, but in understanding how subtle design cues, production timing, and collector psychology drive fluctuations in price. What are your thoughts on the current state of the Rolex steel sports market? We would love to hear your perspective. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments and give the video a thumbs up if you found it insightful. Do not forget to follow Luxury World for more curated content on fine timepieces and market insights. Thank you for watching, and we look forward to welcoming you again in our next video.